Now that we've described cloud security challenges in general, let's focus on the specific challenges faced by cloud workloads, which naturally stem from the aforementioned challenges. First, for the sake of being on the same page, let's define. Workloads are the containers, functions, or machines that store the data and network resources which make an application work. In other words, they are the resources and processes required to execute an application, service, or other functionalities. Containers provide a consistent, isolated execution environment for applications. They are similar to virtual machines, yet they do not require a guest operating system. Instead, the application and its dependencies are packaged into a container based on an image, and then a standard runtime environment is used to execute the app. This allows the container to start up in just a few seconds because there's no operating system to boot and initialize. You only need the app to launch. The current dominant system for automating deployment, scaling, and management of containerized application is Kubernetes. It allows a company to get the same user experience regardless of the designated cloud provider. Every cloud provider has its own version of Kubernetes, for example, AKS, EKS, and GKE. Container environments elicit a range of cybersecurity issues. You must secure images, containers, hosts, runtimes, registries, and orchestration platforms. Container security is made more complex by the high quantity of containers most organizations have and the frequency with which they are updated. Each update is an opportunity for vulnerabilities to be introduced. Additionally, most images which containers are based on, even those that are custom-made, are built on third-party code and thus at risk of third-party vulnerabilities. Serverless functions, on the other hand, are single-purpose, event-driven functions that are triggered only in response to an event, such as receiving an HTTP request. The code executes in a fully managed environment where there is no need to provision any infrastructure or worry about managing any servers. This takes the abstraction of containers up a notch. Comprised of dozens or hundreds of functions, serverless applications are tiny microservices with their own policies, roles, API, audit trail, etc. This changes the attack surface. Instead of a small number of entry points with a lot of functionality hidden behind each one, there are now more entry points, each with a small part of the app behind it. Defending your application now requires thinking about each entry point. Additionally, most of these functions are provisioned with more permissions than they require. Overprivileged functions enlarge the attack surface as well as potentially increase the impact of an attack. The short duration of serverless functions means that serverless security threats may change shape. Attackers may construct a much shorter attack that just steals, for example, a few credit card numbers. Finally, the lightning speed nature of serverless functions execution requires adequately fast security processing. Any delay in execution due to protection and inspection will defeat the purpose of using this rapid mechanism. In the face of all these workload protection challenges, we have CloudGuard on our side.